Welcome to Sex Positive Gaming. I'm Annie, and today we're going to look at the first standalone expansion to Love of Magic Book 2 The War. Available for PC, Mac, SteamOS, and Linux on Steam, with Android versions available on their Patreon and itch.io. So one of the problems with any new or emerging space is that very little tends to stay the same. When I first reviewed Love of Magic last summer, I didn't fully understand how episodic Patreon games would convert to individual Steam releases. To be fair, given the troubles that games like College Kings 2 have had, I'm confident that developers probably don't yet either. However, I did include some content from Book 2 in my Book 1 review. In my defense, I didn't realize what content would and would not be in the eventual full Book 1 release. But the fact remains that I did, and I apologize for that. My bad. It's going to be difficult to not spoil some general aspects of how the Love of Magic series develops, but I'm going to try my best. Book 1 starts small. You are a student who is brand new to magic and the magical world. With Book 2, you're helping to run and defend a kingdom, and the fate of the world is probably in your hands. Where the focus of Book 1 was in personal RPG-like development, now you must also juggle kingdom events and realm points. Graphically, there is an overall improvement with numerous animated sequences, including interactive sexual encounters. Unfortunately, they are still silent, but the soundtrack of Book 1 was my pick for Best Music of 2021 in my Game of the Year awards. And Book 2 continues this level of quality and variety. Flavor-wise, this is still a mostly male heterosexual harem adventure with fantasy, monsters, group, lesbian, power exchange, monster girls, and impregnation. There isn't really any choice of your flavor options here, as this game is technically on rails, but there are enough side quests and moving pieces to give the game enough depth to feel like you have choices. Overall, I really enjoyed Book 2 of Love of Magic. Enough that I had to go back and replay all of Book 1. Because I thought I may have been too harsh in my first review. The developer, Droid Productions, has either grown immensely in their skill or has hired an amazing team. Either way, Book 2 makes Book 1 better, and I can only hope that continues with Book 3. Don't get me wrong, I still hate poker, which makes the battles tedious for me, but I usually also loathe kingdom and resource management. However, I actually had fun with that aspect of the game in Book 2. I also really appreciated the option for new players to get a recap of the previous game with default stats, as well as the choice to import my previous save file from Book 1. This should be a standard in the industry, but for some reason it still isn't. My favorite part of the game by far was the introduction of new lore and world building that had absolutely nothing to do with the Dresden Files. Though to be fair, Jim Butcher should probably never be allowed to accuse anyone else of using other people's ideas. So if you're looking for a magic-filled modern fantasy harem adventure, the Love of Magic series is fast becoming the gold standard in our space. A lot of the previous rough edges have been smoothed out in Book 2, enough that I highly recommend picking up Book 1 as well. The music, animations, and story will make this an enjoyable adventure for just about everyone. Let me know what you think. What is your favorite modern fantasy game? And for those who keep trying, no, I am never, ever going to like poker. Until next time, no shaming, just gaming. Thanks to all this month's support on Patreon. I wouldn't have been able to do this without you all.